1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. With Blazblue Cross-Tag Battle getting rollback in just a few weeks, I figured I'd make a quick little intro video to get people into the game proper, who might not have been playing it all these years. It's currently on sale for $5 on Steam for the base version, so there's no better time or price to give this game a try. This is how to play Blazblue Cross-Tag Battle in 20 minutes. So first bit of background, my name is Alexander. I played a whole bunch of Cross-Tag back a few years back, before COVID, incidentally. And I'd like to think that I want to do my part to revitalize my local scene and maybe start up your scene as well. This video won't be covering any big complicated system mechanics in depth. Just the stuff to get you ready to hit some buttons and feel like you're really playing the game. So on its face, you know, it's a pretty normal tag fighter. You got your AAAs, your EBBs, you know, auto combo stuff. Combos are pretty simple. You got your assist button. Everybody's got 3 assists, depending on the direction you're holding. Pretty simple stuff. Combos are pretty easy to do, but can get fairly intricate depending on the character, which leads me to my first lesson. I have 4 lessons in total. Lesson number 1. You don't need to know all the best, fanciest combos as long as you're getting good Okizeme. And if you don't know, good Okizeme means, I think it directly translates to wake up. And what's meant by that is when your opponent is getting up off the ground after getting hit, how much can you pressure them? And having good Okizeme is, of course, important in all fighting games, but especially in this one, because good Oki in this game is really, really, really good Oki. I know coming from stuff like, I don't know, Street Fighter, King of Fighters, the Tekken, usually good Oki means, like, you're plus a bit. In this game, like, when you have properly good Oki, you can do so much crazy mix. Like, I'll give an example. Let's take Yu Narukami. Pretty basic, bog standard character. He's on the base roster. Let's say we're doing a combo with him and we do the simplest combo we can think of. You know, I picked this character up 10 minutes ago. I don't know any combos, this is the first one I know. We just go A, B, 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 and then a damaging enter. Nice and simple. And, well, we ask ourselves, what Oki do we get off it? Mainly it's just we run up, we hit buttons, maybe we throw. And that's okay, like, it's alright, you're keeping pressure on, certainly. But this game and tag games in general, or at least Blazblue games in general, throw isn't that good as a mix option. You actually have quite a generous window to tech a throw of something like 20 frames. And what that means is, like, if your opponent is ready to throw tech, you're just not going to throw them, especially on rollback. So what if instead of doing that ender, we do a different ender that gets us a better Oki? What if we do no ender? Look what happens. We do no ender, and we get to put a button on them on their wake up. It's called a meaty.
Are you scared?
If they decide that they don't want to be patient and they want to challenge us, of course, they get stuffed, and we get a combo back. What if they decide they don't want to be patient? They're just going to DP on their wake up. We recover fast enough to block it when the TP when it comes out. This is important and leads to all kinds of important mix. Now that they know they have to block high, we can fake it and go low. Or we can delayed air dash and do later highs. If we want to get a little saucy, we can throw an assist in to make it harder to see and to make sure they don't push a button anywhere. If we want to get extra saucy, active switch as well to keep pressure. Even if they block our big mix-up, it's still our turn, and we still get to keep attacking. Plus, that gets us our active switch bonus, which means extra meter build for 10 seconds, extra resonance level. It's just very good all around. This is the sort of cascading pressure that an assist is really meant for, in my opinion. Using an assist in this way to pressure your opponent on their wake up is the single best way to use your assist. Which leads me to lesson number 2. In my opinion, the worst time to use your assist is in the middle of a combo to extend your combo. Now there are times to do this, but especially when I went online week 1, you'd see everybody do it. You know, they do a simple combo, call assist, and then do another simple combo. And it was okay for damage. Like, it added an extra 1,000 damage or so, but it creates a very important problem. See, burst in this game is a strong mechanic held back by some critical downsides. Burst is up every 10 or 12 or 15 seconds or so, and dictated by the blue bar on the bottom, your resonance gauge, or your cross gauge rather. And that 10 or 15 seconds, that does not depend on you taking or dealing damage. It's just a timer. If your opponent's combo is long enough, you can burst, get your burst beaten, get put into a combo, and then by the time the combo is over, you have burst back up. Burst is up very regularly in this game. And what calling an assist in your combo does is it opens a burst point. I'll give an example. Basic combo like this, call assist. Alright. Do a basic combo like this, call assist. We can't punish that. That was a good burst. We cannot punish that because our assist is out. If instead, we just do a basic combo without calling assist, if we get the timing right, we can call our assist in response to a burst happening. You might notice there's a big 30-frame freeze when a burst gets called. This is important because it means bursts are way, way, way more reactable than they are in most games. In the predecessor game, in Blazblue Central Fiction, a burst was about a 10-frame thing or a 6-frame move or something. Just not reactable at all. You had to hard bait a burst. Or do burst-safe routes and stuff like that. In general, in this game, there aren't so many burst-safe routes, but bursts are much more punishable as a default. And using your assist in your combo opens up a really easy burst point if your opponent wants to burst end your combo and get their turn back. So, in general, don't use your assist in combos unless you have a very good reason to. Like, your opponent can't burst yet, or you need to add some damage and they don't have burst, or you need it to get to corners, stuff like that. Just in general, assume your opponent is going to burst a combo if they can. And actually, that leads me to how to punish a burst with your assist. That 30-frame freeze is important. That's all the reaction in the world that you need to, as soon as the freeze ends, hit your assist button. Usually 4P is a dedicated, like, anti-air assist, so that's usually your good one for punishing a burst. Occasionally 5P is your best. It's character dependent, but occasionally 5P is your better one. Very, very rarely is it 6P. 6P is generally an assist for a projectile assist or assist for covering distance, or otherwise doing setup stuff. But let's say our opponent bursts, just like that, and we get our full combo even. We get good OP off it. And the timing of these things burst timing varies a little teeny tiny bit between characters, but generally if you have one good timing, it'll work for everyone. And I recommend, if you're ever going to pick up this game, take maybe 2 or 3 minutes in training mode and just practice bursting on a dummy.
Oh, are you scared?
Really, I promise, even like 2-3 minutes practice and you'll probably have the timing down forever. It's like riding a bike. Like, I've never played these characters, and yeah, it's pretty simple stuff. Anyway, that leads me well to point number 3. Don't burst unless you're sure it's a safe burst. And usually, the only way you know a burst is safe, the main way that a burst is going to be safe is if your opponent uses their assist in the middle of their combo. Then it's a safe burst. Most of the time. Like, bursts can still be risky and stuff.
Oh, are you scared?
But I'm losing my words suddenly. But yeah, don't burst all willy-nilly. People called it, back in the day when this game came out, they had a funny name for a burst, which was a combo extender for your opponent, because everybody was doing bad bursts, they were getting punished, and it just led to a half combo. It led to one full combo turning into a half combo, losing your burst, and then getting a full combo also. It was just bad. It was just bad to do. So only burst when you're sure your opponent has their assist used or they can't use it. Now, lesson number 4. This is less of a lesson and more of a warning. There is, in this game, there is some very, very, very cheap stuff. Stuff that, reasonably, you're probably not going to be able to deal with just looking at it. So lesson number 4 is this. You can't block everything. Allow me to elucidate. So this, that's a frame trap. This, oh, this, come on. That was a cross-up. And what you might notice is making those sandwich situations lets you do very, very, very ambiguous cross-ups and fast and hard to react to cross-ups. This is scary stuff, and I'm not saying, oh, you need to be able to do that sandwich stuff to play the game. And I'm not even saying you have to block that sandwich stuff to play the game. It helps, it's good blocking practice. But as long as you know the tools to get out of those situations, you're gonna have a grand old time. It's just, some people online might try to hit you with this stuff, and you need to know what options you have when you know you can't block it. The first one is the easy one. Just easy. We just hit DP, we punish them if they're right next to us, and actually, DP can be a little bit risky depending on the character. If you're a character like Ruby or a character like Narukami, you might have noticed that their DPs hit a little bit behind them. This is useful and important. If someone puts you in a sandwich situation and they active switch with just the right timing, they can actually make you DP in the opposite direction. This can be a bit spooky because if they do it right, they set you up for taking huge damage. But if you're a character like Ruby, got my timing right. It hits both sides. There is no opportunity to get out of the way. Even if they active switch, even if they don't active switch, they're going to get hit. And this gets you out of trouble for relatively easily. And doing a super is the same thing. Your other option, which is pretty ubiquitous defensive option for tag games, is a push block. Let's see here. Got a demo set up.
You scared? Come here.
So that was a pretty basic mix-up.
You scared?
If we push block with the right timing, when we think they're going to active switch, we get a punish. If we immediately hit a button afterwards. In that recording, Gordeau was set to block as soon as the active switch ended. So we actually punished the active switch by push blocking with the right timing. Push block is a very powerful mechanic. It does cost a bar to use, but it's very, very important to get out of these crazy setups and the like. And the third one you can do, the last option, it can be a bit, it's a little bit more costly. But, you know, sometimes it's necessary to reset your momentum and stuff. We can just burst on block, which is something you can do. You can just burst on block. And sometimes it's just necessary to get through pressure like that. And it's actually worth noting, if they cross combo and try to do some sandwich stuff, and you hit them during their cross combo, including by bursting or DPing, they lose their whole resonance bar. It's as though they bursted, which is important. It's pretty fine to just trade one for one, burst for burst. It's not that bad, and it's certainly better than eating a whole combo for it. So yeah, that is just about the things you need to know to pick up this game and, you know, start having some fun and getting some wins online with it, I'd say. Of course, there's all the normal stuff like, you know, picking a good team and all that stuff. Actually, I should go into that. Let's look at the character select screen real quick. So like I said, this game is $5 USD on Steam right now for the base game with the base characters. And you might have noticed there's a lot of DLC for this game. In fact, more than half of the characters in the game are DLC. And you might probably be thinking, oh, whoa, this is one of those games where they make all the good characters DLC, so you gotta go buy the DLC if you want to win. It's not one of those games. I promise it's not one of those games. There are quite a few characters on the base roster who are not only like some of the best characters in the game, but have been since the game came out. Ragna's pretty great. Yunar Kami, just completely perfectly solid, which is all you really need in this game. He's been like top 10 for the game's entire lifetime. Works well as an assist with anyone. Chie's a monster when she has meter with the right team. Waldstein is big buttons and plays well. Ruby has been consistently top tier since the second this game came out. She's like never been nerfed. She's been buffed, in fact. And Yang is great with her armored normals, and I mean a lot of armored normals. Like everything she does is armors. It's kind of silly. Jin's pretty good. I don't know. Point is, you don't need to go all out and buy the whole game if you want to just have a grand old time and learn some characters and have some fun. And that's about it. That's all I had to share. And I do hope your local is revitalized somewhat when this game comes out. And if you're local to Vancouver, Canada, then check out Vancouver Street Battle, the local premier fighting game venue in Vancouver. Best one in Canada, that's just my opinion. And because that's my local, and I know for a fact that Crosstag is going to be bumping when this game finally gets rollback. And if you're local to Vancouver, then hey, I'll see you there. First to 5 me. I don't mind taking your money. Anyway, if there's any other questions you've got, just leave them in the comments and I'll get along to answering them. Have a good one. See you next time.